What's up, everybody? Rusty Man here, and this is Game Talk. And I'm joined by Silver Wolf.
G'day, guys.
Ready to go. Here we go. And before we get started, I got a quick thing to say to you today. This is an intervention, buddy. Your Stardew Valley gameplay.
Yeah, what can I say?
It's getting to a dangerous level.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You know, you said last week, that I'd missed out. I thought, well, it may not have looked like the type of thing I'd be interested in, but give it a go. Give it a go.
And it was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, I think it told me to cash me outside. I think I've put in like 60 or 70 hours since last week.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've never played the game until I started, and I thought, you know what, this is, how did I miss it the first time? This is, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, I'll give it that. It's, for me, probably even more enjoyable than Minecraft. I think the difference between the two is that, Minecraft you get to build.
There's a little bit more freedom and creativity. I mean, in
There is
Stardew,
more freedom and
you
creativity,
can create
but,
buildings and put them almost anywhere in some cases,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
it is. Whereas, Minecraft, like I said, you get to build, design things in any particular way you want. But Stardew was really good in that it really kept the mind busy. You could really make it as hard or as easy as you wanted.
Very true. I mean, you can simply, like, with the crops and stuff you're doing, you can do the maths on that pretty quick to find out, like, how much money you're making per crop per day, basically, depending on how many days each one's going to take you.
That would be a really, really good thing to do if you had the brain capacity to do it.
You're just throwing out anything?
Dude, if I had room, I turned it into a crop.
Hey, to be fair, there's an achievement for making a perfect version of every crop in the game. And considering each season has specific crops you can make,
Yes.
and then, your first year in some of the seasons, you're not going to be a high enough level to get perfect versions anyway.
That's right.
So it's going to take some time.
Oh, look, I've got the time for it. It's one of those games that I think, I spent so much time playing Minecraft as the go-to game between games.
Yep.
You see, and now I'm finding that Stardew Valley is quite possibly taking the role there.
Well, I did say last week it's the good chill-out game, or the good palate cleanser, if you will.
I wasn't sure I believed, but I'm a convert, man. Real big fan.
And you can see why I was hesitant to link it in any way to Farmville, because it is so much deeper than that slap crap piece of shit.
Well, the thing for me was I never played Farmville.
Well, the similarities start and end at it's a fucking farm. That's it.
Well, I had plenty of friends playing Farmville, and it
was
just
huge
looked
at
annoying
one
to me.
point.
It looked annoying to me. The moment you've got to rely on someone else
Yeah.
to do anything, I just found the whole thing irritating.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that was a very annoying part of it.
It just wasn't my thing. Like I said, I mean, it's not that it was a multi. I don't mind multi.
Well, apparently Stardew's getting it sometime this year.
I have heard that.
And that, I think, could be good. It's not going to be like competitive multi. Apparently it's a co-op sort of system.
Co-op multi, yeah. I think M's Forever said something about that a couple of days ago.
Yeah, she's looking forward to it as well.
No, I mean, that'd be pretty good.
Absolutely. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, when you talking Stardew, I mean, I build a massive farm.
Yeah.
And in the game, you can choose a spouse, so to speak. And occasionally, the spouse will come out of the house and water all your crops and water the dog and...
Depending on, like, the love level and whatever.
Yeah, all that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
Which, let's face it, if the love level isn't all the way up there, you're not doing it right.
To be fair, the only person I ever had love me in that game was the goddamn fisherman. So I don't think I was doing something right already to begin with.
That's hilarious.
He wanted to tickle my cod, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it was a great game, and it's even better when the spouse decides to go out and water all your crops, because when you've got a big farm, it takes forever.
What about sprinklers, mate? You got sprinklers going?
Yes. I've instated a lot of the what are they? They're the middle class sprinkler.
Yeah, there's the copper one. There's the, I think it's iron maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's the really rare one.
The iridium, yeah, that's the one I'm just now getting the iridium together.
Okay.
Which is a drop from out. Is it the Skull Cave mine?
It is, yeah. It's not the standard mine. It's the other one.
Yeah. So I'm out there now, out working out, getting some iridium ores and getting the bigger sprinklers happening. But iridium's a pain in the butt to come by, and it's $500 for a friggin' bus ticket out there. You want to make sure you're getting the most every time you go.
It's true. It is true. I mean, the other thing I do like is when you wake up and you hear that rain, because you know you've got a full day at the mines now because your garden's taken care of.
I was thinking, I said the same thing myself last night. I was just thinking, I'm at the point where, I was in the crossover between fall and winter, okay? Fall was a really, really, really busy time.
Yes, it was.
Okay, that's a heck of a lot of watering, okay? And those rainy days, you just love it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, the moment winter comes, though, you're sort of like, I have...
Too much time?
Too much time.
Absolutely.
You're sort of used to having every second count, and then all of a sudden you've got all of this extra time. And it's even better, I will say, I took a bit of time to figure out what was going on with the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realise at first that the game very much revolved around the community centre.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's like your that's basically a to-do list, basically.
It is.
Gives you something. It gives you a goal, something to work towards.
It is, and I hadn't realised that at first. I just thought it was, just a side part to the greater game. But as you go through those, I've really discovered that there's a lot going on for it.
Oh yeah, and you unlock a lot of pretty cool perks, if you will.
Like those minecarts, can I say? Oh, yeah.
The minecarts are great. I do love that.
Okay, considering the way time works in the game...
Yep.
Okay, it takes you, an hour to get from one end of town to the other?
It can, yeah. I do love, just to circle back quickly, at the start of the game, when, by 9 a.m. you're completely out of energy? Because you've, had to do a few things, you're like, wow, I'm stuffed. I should go to bed again. It's 9 a.m., man. What are you doing?
Oh, man. I'm at the point...
I got to the point where I'd do all my mining, do all my farming, get to the mine, and I'd go all the way down the mine, and my character would be yawning, saying, like, oh, it's time for bed. And I'm like, nah, one more level. You can wait, mate. It'll be fine.
Yeah. How about the cost every time you flame and die? Not that it happens often, but, it
never had it happen, to be fair.
It happened twice.
Okay.
The first time I was, or both times happened when I was tired. Hey, let's face it, we're gamers, and that just means that at 3 o'clock in the morning we're still going and should be going to bed.
Well, 3 o'clock in the morning,
really
I'm at work, and I should be going to bed.
Well, it was just me being tired and saying one more level, and forgetting to look at my health bar.
Yeah.
And going one more level and getting boned.
It reminded me of one of the texts I got from you earlier in the week, when I had it was a work day, I think, and I was having breakfast and I saw you were up playing, and I said to you, you're doing that just one more day thing, aren't you? You're like, yeah, I've been doing that since midnight.
Yep, 3 a.m. that was. I was just like, yep, just one more day.
Well, it's a good game, and there's nothing wrong with that. But since that's what you've been playing this week, that's all good. That's about time we jump into the news, isn't it?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we've got, 18 things on our list this week. That's a lot. That's legal. That means I can have sex with the list.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I went there. Okay. Well, the first one, of course, is that we have an Aussie Metroidvania, which is, your Metroid/Castlevania style game. And they've announced that they're coming out on the 24th of February. That game's coming out on PC and Mac. Now, have you ever played a lot of the Metroid games or the Castlevania games?
I did play... I played Metroid once, and I did play some of the Castlevania games.
Yep.
I didn't mind them.
The reason I've started our news report this week with it, of course, is it's an Aussie developer. Got to show some support to the other Aussies, right?
Yeah, why not? If they can get it right.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, of course, that it's not coming to consoles at this point. It's just PC and Mac. and they have announced that apparently it will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, at least something is. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Ah, well. Second bit of news now.
Do it for me.
You've got COD. Apparently the sales from last year were not where they wanted them to be for last year's, what was that one? Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, yeah.
Yeah, sales weren't good for it. Apparently it didn't resonate with the fan base, which I could have told you by it being the most disliked game trailer in history.
I was going to say something along those lines.
But hey, so now they're going to go back to real gameplay. Put that in air quotes, with like boots on the ground stuff, less grappling hooks in space with Jon Snow being whatever Jon Snow is.
Yeah. Look, the whole space thing, I don't mind space games as such, but
I can go on record. I pretty much hate them.
It depends on the game. Okay?
Halo being an exception because they don't go
to be a space game.
Yeah, but they don't go over the top with like gravity, no sound in space, grappling hook bullshit.
Yeah.
Which is when it becomes too gimmicky, I can't get behind it.
No, I agree. Like
as I said, I love Halo.
I think they dropped the ball on that one. I think it was if they called it something else.
Yeah, you're saying because it shouldn't be Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, totally. If they'd given it some other name,
Jon Snow in space, Infinite Warfare.
If they'd have called it something else, okay, they'd have had a better run at it. They still would have ended up with people buying it. I mean, when you consider what they did with Titanfall 2,
yeah,
okay, in my opinion, if they'd swapped the two release dates, like Titanfall 2 would have been received better, got a higher fan base, and made more money for all involved.
Yeah.
Than they would have with bloody Infinite Warfare, because Infinite Warfare was a dud.
Well, I think the biggest issue too is that COD's still a juggernaut with your casual gamer, if you will. The guy who buys 2 or 3 games a year, he buys his Madden or FIFA, and he buys COD. No matter what it is, he buys COD,
But here's the thing, okay? I've only bought 2, okay? Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare.
Yep.
Okay, Black Ops was great.
I love the original Black Ops, didn't play 2, didn't play 3.
Okay, 3 really got my attention. It was a fun game, it was a fast game, it was just really enjoyable. I had a great amount of, great time, a lot of fun. Started playing Infinite Warfare, and it just didn't feel right. The multi was a bit of a dud, the campaign mode was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did like not playing it, but hearing from people that did. I did like that it was a case they had changed how they do their campaign. You didn't have like mission start, mission end, mission start, mission end. There was this hub world thing where you could choose the mission, you could choose side missions. They tried to rejuvenate that style that they were doing anyway. Because beforehand it was mission finishes, load screen, mission finishes, load screen. That was what it always was.
Yeah.
It gives you more of a choice, which I think people want as a whole.
Look, I'm not saying it was a bad game. Campaign had a lot of really good points to it.
Okay.
And like I said, it wasn't a bad game, okay? But ultimately, in my view of it, it deserved the place that they'd allotted Titanfall 2 to.
Well, I mean, the issue is, of course, that it's not published by the same people.
I get that.
So, like, EA got both their games out before COD, trying to get, like, those sales before people had gone, I've already spent my money. So I can understand in a way where they've put them, and they've kind of gone, if you want boots-on-the-ground gameplay, here's your Battlefield 1. If you want a futuristic shootery game, here's Titanfall. But the issue was there was just no marketing push for Titanfall, and COD as a name still resonates with people for some reason.
I get that. And like I said, Black Ops 3, after Black Ops came out, it was a game that I really enjoyed. It was the type of game that I was talking to people about. It was the type of game that I caught up with people on.
Yeah.
It was really, really a fun game. But Infinite Warfare just didn't stick with me. There was nothing that I really experienced playing that game where I thought, this is fantastic.
But you had that experience with Titanfall, correct?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did have that with Titanfall. And, I never got it's hard to get a match on multi, or it was at the time I had Titanfall.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people, like, even when it was just out, people were saying they were waiting 20, 30 minutes for a game, which that's unforgivable. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
No one wants to sit down and waste half an hour waiting. Like, that's just silly.
No.
But to circle back to the actual news here, do you think you've got to agree it's a good move for them to go back to real gameplay?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because, I mean, their campaigns for me always were, like, every year I would get the game just to play the campaign, because it was like a 4 to 6 hour, over-the-top, Michael Bay-style action movie in a campaign. So I always enjoyed that.
Well, that's why I bought the Black Ops 3. I'd spoken to someone else, a couple of someones, actually, from the Destiny clan that I was in. They were telling me that Black Ops 3 looked good. We had a good discussion on it. They told me that the co-op was, the multi was fantastic in most of the Call of Duties, and that the campaign was always worth it. Now, you know me. If a game does not have a campaign mode of 13 hours or more, I can't justify spending the money that we have to pay here in Australia on a game.
The $100 we're expected to pay, huh?
The $100 we expect to pay for a game that has less than 13 hours of actual game time is a disaster.
See, for me, my maths on that's a little bit different. For me, I think for the amount of money I'm spending on it, if I've had to work more hours to buy it than I'm getting in entertainment, that's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's where my maths is at. And the one people love is the movie comparison. You know, if it's like in Australia again, you're looking at $20 for a movie ticket.
Yep.
You know, you get 2 hours of entertainment. So $100, if you're getting 10 hours, you shouldn't complain. And I'm like, well, that's not a horrible way to look at it. If you're willing to pay that for a movie.
No. See, then you'd have to be willing to pay it to go for a movie. It'd have to be a bloody good movie.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the $20 that we already pay. You know, that's what the comparison is.
Yeah, I know, but you're also talking to someone who doesn't go to the movies a lot.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm probably going like 3 times this year, but generally I think I've gone once the last 2 years. So I see a lot of movies when they're out on DVD and stuff, but I don't go to them often.
Well, see, and there's the thing, though. But they told me, my clan members, they told us that the campaign was great, but that the most fun comes with the multi. So, I mean, you do the math in that. I mean,
you go 4 to 6 hours for campaign, so you still want to get another 6 to 7 hours out of multi.
And if you can't get 6 to 7 out of a multi, I mean, they've done the multi wrong. And I figured Call of Duty was known for its multi, so I mean, it was a good buy.
Yeah, I mean, that is
I'm
a
just
strong
glad that
suit.
I picked up the first one of Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Because if the first one I got was Infinite Warfare,
You never would have gone back to the title?
I would never have gone back for another one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been buying them since Modern Warfare on 360. So that was Call of Duty 4, and we're pretty deep now. So
Yeah.
And there we go. That's COD, talking about that. And we've also talked about the cost at the moment for us to buy games at retail.
We have.
And retailers now, the news came out this week, they want to jump the queue, as it were, and sell games early.
That's right. They want to release them early.
They want to have a 2-week priority window where games can only be sold at retail versus them actually being in a digital storefront at the same time.
Yes, so that people can get, so that people would
actually
buy
go and
hard
buy
copies as a preference and get the pre-download going.
Yeah, you go and buy a hard copy. You could probably beat it in the 2 weeks. Because at that point the issue becomes you've got friends who are going to go buy the hard copy. You don't want to miss out on the discussion of the game either. You have full-on FOMO, fear of missing out.
But see, the way I look at this is that is the retailer's way of trying to compete in a market that is beyond.
Well, as we talked about last week, it's the sales at retail are eroding at a rapid rate.
They are. They pretty much no longer have a place. And let's be honest, once the actual need for hard copies is gone, the digital copies have to become cheaper.
You'd think so. I mean, they should. Look at Steam for your PC. Because the PC physical market is basically fucking dead, go and find the PC section in an EB Games. It's the smallest section.
Yeah.
Everything
Usually
there, you look at the
5 or
price.
6 games wide.
You look at the price and you laugh. Because you see it on Steam for $3 this weekend only sale, and you think, why the fuck would I pay 30?
Yeah, why would I pay 30 for
and have to swap the disc?
Yes.
When in reality, you won't even probably have to swap the disc because you buy the box, it'll have a download code you put in your Steam library. Because that's what a lot of them are doing these days.
Yeah, hilarious.
So I was like, well, retail as a whole, like for the PC market, if we look at them as the baseline, that market's disappearing for them.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can see why they want this
trend. I mean, we can see where it's going. Okay, I mean, any gamer can see where it's going, and this is the retail's attempt to stay current in the market. Okay?
I mean, like now, the other thing they've been doing, if you look at it's GameStop in the US, which is the parent company of EB Games here.
Yep.
They're actually getting into the publishing game now.
Are they?
Where they're publishing games, like from little indie studios, they will publish them for them, and they will. They also sign up like an exclusive deal for. They are the only ones that have the right to sell the physical copy, and the digital copies are released through the standard marketplace stuff. Because they did it last year with, what was it? Into the Deep, maybe, I think was the name of it. I could be wrong on that. And then they got another one coming up soon, which they just delayed. It was going to hit on the 14th. It's now the end of March. Is Deformers is the name of the game. It's like a platform, looks like a platform brawler, I think.
Okay.
Sort of like a party game. You know, you have 4 weird-shaped characters that run into each other until they fall off the edge. Think Smash Brothers, but less elegant. It looks like it's
I'm not really. I was never really a Smash Brothers guy.
Neither was I. But at the same point, like it's, as I said, it's a less elegant version of Smash Brothers. It does look very indie, to not like completely disregard it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's one of the things they're doing to try and stay relevant. Is they're actually starting to publish, so they still get money on that end of it. But this they want this exclusive window. I don't think that's good for business, and I don't think the manufacturers, or the console makers, or the game publishers and developers are going to allow it anyway. To be fair,
I mean, the way I view it is that this is the retail market. Okay, it had to have crawled into that office on hands and knees. Okay, I mean, they literally, it feels like they're begging to me.
It seems pretty close, huh? It's please, sir, I want some more sales.
Please, sir. Okay,
I want some more sales.
Please keep us alive.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, yes, as
we talked about last week, retail does have a place for selling the physical console still, which is the problem. So they can't completely say, hey, go fuck yourself.
But the thing is, if they focus instead on consoles and other aspects of things, so game cards, accessories.
Yeah, like EB's doing that too. They've got the game cards. They go with their stuff they call loot. Obviously, I'll play on loot from video games, which is just your like gaming themed T-shirts, wallets, keychains, Funko Pops, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're becoming more of a
gaming pop culture type.
Yeah, like a pop culture store, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you walk past an EB Games, okay, and unless there is a major event going on, okay, the stores are basically empty.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I hated last year too, is I had a few days off that were around game releases, and I'm like, shit, I'll go do a midnight launch, because they used to do them for like big tentpole releases, like your Gears of War, that sort of thing, like big games. I'm not expecting it for every game. Last year they only did it for COD. They didn't even do one for Battlefield.
Where was it? The midnight launch I went to was for Fallout 4.
That was the year before.
Yeah, I know. But that was the only midnight launch I'd been to for a long time.
Only one I've ever been to
how many people were actually
was Watch
there
Dogs. Oh yeah, they're actually pretty popular, man, and it was good. I enjoyed the part where you can go in there and you talk with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
Like I was sitting there talking to a bunch of people that were also gamers, also YouTubers, and we were just shooting the shit for an hour before they sold us the game, Like what we were expecting out of the game. What we'd seen beforehand, I would pretty much go in fresh on all games because I'm like, well, if I'm going to buy it, why see anything? But it was a fun event, which is why I thought, hey, I've got these days off that work with that day, that release day. I'm normally up at that time for work anyway, so it's not even a big ask to be awake. Fuck it, I'll go in and go to one. And they're like, oh, we're actually only doing it for COD this year.
Yeah, I think you know, a lot of gamers out there, they'd be like, midnight, we're good. You know, we can do it.
Oh yeah, it becomes a big issue though. Like for a lot of people, particularly, it's another issue I hate. Of course, is your first day patches.
Yeah, the downloads.
Like you get home and you plug and you put your disc in. Like when I got Watch Dogs, you put the disc in, and then like an hour later, it was finished installing and updating. It was another hour after that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Oh look, my net here is disgusting, and I put in Final Fantasy. Now, I mean, I think this was one of the first Final Fantasies that came with a flaming fairly hefty download.
10
nearly
gig.
10 hours.
10 gig day one update.
I was just like, really? So I've got the game, and it's here, it's in the drive, and I'm almost rocking backwards and forwards, hugging my knees, going, it's going to be ready soon. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I understand if you're buying physical, why there would be like an update still sitting there. It doesn't know you're going to buy the game.
That's right.
But when I buy games digitally, and then at midnight when they unlock, they go, now we'll download the day one patch.
Yeah,
I'm like, I've been downloading the game for a week, you know, just fucking download it now. Download it, put it live a day earlier than release so it downloads and I can still kick off at midnight.
Yes.
Not at midnight when I go to play it, go, let's ping the update server, suck a dick,
look,
have fun.
I can understand from, say, European standards or like American standards, the bandwidth of their infrastructure. I mean, it would allow them to download these patches very quickly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, you want to hear bad patches this year? Or, well, it's last year now. But the WWE game.
Okay.
Day one patch was 16 gig.
Wow.
Week later than that, they dropped to 12 giga.
Oh, no.
And I think they've since dropped another 8 and a 4. So at this point, you've downloaded more than the original game.
In patches.
In patches. It's insane.
That's really messy. Really messy.
It's really not good. But I mean, we should probably get back on the topic here.
We should.
So the next piece of news is that Take-Two, the parent company that owns the GTA franchise and a few other franchises under that, have apparently licensed 2 different franchises for a movie. They haven't announced which ones. A bit of digging, I did come up with the fact that BioShock had been included in that.
Okay.
So BioShock looks to be included in a future movie idea. And they also own the rights to a fair few others, including your Grand Theft Auto, your Red Dead Redemption, and Mafia, and Borderlands.
I was going to say, Borderlands, I heard, was being worked on since, was it 2013, 2014, something like that?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was being worked at on some level, but I just don't think it's going to be that's a hard one to put across.
Look,
because in all seriousness, that's an R-rated movie if they make it, or MA which in the US, or which will be an R here.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be a comedy.
Well,
because Borderlands had a lot of slapstick comedy to it.
Yeah, I agree. But let's face it. I mean, it was gory, but it was hilarious. Okay, I mean, if they can pull off that comedy aspect of a gory movie, I mean, the gory game, I should say, I mean, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
However, that being said,
movie games suck.
Track records of movies, okay, from games.
Movie games suck. Ask the 2 Hitman movies, the Max Payne movie, apparently the recent Assassin's Creed movie.
I didn't mind Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, but it comes and goes, but then I was the only person in an entire cinema to sit there and go and see The Spirit Within, like back when Final Fantasy came out in the movies.
Yeah, okay, I saw that movie 2 days before it was out. They had a special event I'd won tickets to, and I walked out of that and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell was going on by the end of that movie.
Yeah, but look, I didn't mind it.
Like it had pushed graphically where movies were at the time.
That was pretty bad. They lost money on that.
That's the problem. They're not making money on these movies, and they're not getting like rave reviews. They spent a lot of money on that recent Assassin's Creed movie, and last I saw it was sitting at like a 2.5 on Metacritic, which of course takes into comparison every other major critic and then gives you the overall rating. And that's not good.
No, but look, I've never been a huge. I've never gotten into the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Okay.
But I've had friends that have, and one of them posted Facebook the other day just saying, worst movie ever. You know, I mean, that doesn't rate well.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, that's the bigger problem too, is they're trying to make a movie that appeals to a broader audience, so you've got to throw some of that game shit out. And by throwing that game shit out, your built-in audience that you're also trying to appease is already turning on it.
Yes.
And because it's a game movie, your broad audience isn't coming in anyway. So you've pissed off everyone.
And that's what I was going to say. I agree wholeheartedly.
You've pissed off everyone. You've blown your whole budget for a movie that sucks and is yet again another nail in the coffin for video game movies.
The best thing they could do is just take a look at the game, put it into a movie, and add aspects, as far as I'm concerned. So things that you wouldn't normally see. Okay? I mean,
the issue is, it's hard to add aspects because it's very much like trying to convert a book into a movie. Because you think about it, like a game, like you said, you want it to be 13 to 16 hours. Say it's 16 hours long, and now they're trying to make a 2-hour movie. You're losing a bunch of shit at that point.
You are. But at the same time, okay, you can translate things fairly quickly with conversation.
Yeah, I don't see why video games as an industry are still trying to get this broad, like appreciation from this other industry. At the end of the day, video games make more money than most movies. Mm-hmm. Like, you look at it, video games as a whole, it's $1 billion industry, and movies, their companies are coming out and saying, oh, we had a $2 billion or $3 billion year.
Well, it's something like 80 million consoles alone, not including PCs floating around, isn't there? I mean, I think...
Oh, there's almost that many of just current consoles.
No, well, it's some ridiculously high number.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can understand. I mean, you will make a killing just focusing on your games, assuming it's multi-platform.
Yeah.
You know, that being said, I'm not giving up on the movie industry. Okay, it can work well. Okay, it's just no one's done it well. It doesn't mean it can't be done. There are a lot of great games out there that I think would make great movies.
Okay, give us one.
Okay.
Before we close the books on the topic.
Okay. Well, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, like I said, was a great one. Okay, for me.
I'm talking games that haven't been done yet. What could be a good movie?
So I would say the latest Final Fantasy. It's just for one. I think that would make a great movie. And actually, do you know what? They actually made that into a movie, didn't they? Or some part of it.
Kind of. They actually made a movie that was a prequel to it.
Yes.
So elements of it do carry over, and I hear it's actually like, for someone who's played the game, apparently it's really good, but as a movie, not good. It misses the whole 3-act structure. It doesn't pay off properly. People that have not played the game are reviewing it poorly. People that have are reviewing it well. So it seems to be very, like... It's almost inside baseball. You've got to know it to know it.
Yes, okay. Look, I think no matter how we look at it, okay, it might just be that that's the place that movies on games have, okay? I mean, which is, I suppose, what we were saying before. When you look at the games that have been made, and they try and change it too far to bring in a greater audience that's not going to watch it anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
And you've pissed off your baked-in audience.
That's right. And, you know, when that happens, there's nothing left. You're going to lose money. You're going to piss off your fans. I mean, just try and keep true.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's not good. It's the same issue you get with book movies, you know. You cut too much, you've pissed off the book fans, other people coming going, oh, this is based on a book, this will mean it's good, and then they go, this sucks.
True, but I mean, that's always the thing. Okay, I mean,
but I can understand a book being turned into a movie because a book is not a visual medium already.
No, that's right.
Video games are already a visual medium. Why do we keep reaching out for this recreation, basically?
Even a video medium, like a visual medium, has to come across as a written medium somewhere along the line. Okay, there is no reason why it couldn't be taken from one format to the other. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, it's just a matter of how to transfer it from that medium.
Yeah.
You know, I feel It is quite possibly, it can be done. It's just that no one's come along and done it right yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out, you know.
You're still holding out hope, huh?
It will happen sooner or later. Someone's got to get it right.
See, for me, when they butchered Max Payne. Great game. They put in Mark Wahlberg, who I like as an actor.
Yep.
And they still fucked it. That was when my hope was gone.
Oh.
I'm like, your video game movies now, they're never that great. And just to put a closing on this topic for now, is when I said Borderlands, I can't understand how that'd be made into a good movie, because it's a bit weird. If they based it off Tales from the Borderlands, a video game by Telltale,
yeah,
that could arguably be made into a movie. It was a really good game.
See, I mean, okay, so open world games like, you know, The Witcher, okay, I think that would make a great movie.
I would argue that would make a better 10-part HBO series.
Maybe, but even then, okay, instead of making it 10 parts, split it into 3, okay? I mean, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, what have you, okay? Split it into 3, make it 3 feature-length films.
Yeah, I was thinking more like, do it like Game of Thrones. 10 episodes, medieval styling.
Yeah.
You know there's an audience for it. You know you've got enough time to tell a story in the TV medium. Yeah,
but which I get, and you would end up with quite possibly a fairly huge fan base.
I think it'd be an awesome show, absolutely.
But at the same time, I think that if you had it committed to 3 movies, it prevents it from getting too long, and it's a big game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean...
I think the bigger issue, too, is if you look at the industries of film and television.
Yeah.
Film isn't taking a risk these days. Look at the movies coming out. Sequel, superhero movie, sequel. They're not they're not putting money into something that isn't a sure bet anymore. Whereas TV still has that budget.
Yes.
Because they have an easier way to pay it off.
Yeah. I'm really disenfranchised, uninspired by a lot of the movies that have been coming out.
I think film overall has just been garbage. I mean, yeah. I don't... Even me this year, for the most part, I'm only seeing sequels. I said I'm probably going to go 3 times. Yeah. I've got, Triple X I just saw. You know, Triple X, that was a sequel to Triple X. Triple X, you know, so saw that.
Yes.
Got a Fast and Furious movie coming this year, sequel.
Yeah, not sure I'd watch that one, though.
I would, big Fast and Furious fan. And then...
Look, I can dig it. I like the Fast and Furious. Okay, Fast and Furious was, seriously good.
They're popcorn flicks.
They were great, but at the same time, the last one felt like an ending.
Yeah, but it's got The Rock. That's enough for me these days. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to go see the Baywatch movie. That's the 3rd one. Because it's got The Rock in it and it looks funny.
No, see, yeah, okay. Good luck with that one, buddy. I don't think I'll be watching that one.
Oh, I'm going to be enjoying that one, don't worry.
That's cool, man.
Speaking of enjoying things...
Yep.
Playground Games, the company that makes Forza Horizon, has actually spun off another team, and they're making a new open-world game, which is apparently not a racing game.
Well, that's interesting.
But they are a good developer. The stuff they make, I've always enjoyed. Open world seems to be in their wheelhouse.
That's true. I mean, but it's also, a new team, sort of...
Oh, they've spun off a team, so it includes members of the older team.
Okay, right.
I don't even know if they went on a hiring spree. In fact, I think it might have just been internal.
Internal?
Internal, could have been. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the other interesting part about this is because they're not owned by Microsoft, Playground Games.
Yeah.
This new game could go multi-platform and probably will. Or Sony could come in and sign it exclusively, or Microsoft could. Because these guys clearly happy to make a exclusive game. They've done it with Horizon for... 3 games now?
Yeah, and we've spoken about, the Forzas, Horizon or standard Forza. But, I mean, they've been great games.
Yeah, very much so.
Great games.
So I think...
Forza Horizon 3, that was my first Horizon. And, wow. Just wow. Great game.
Oh, absolutely. It won a few Game of the Year awards and won a lot of Racing Game of the Year awards last year. Fairly, I would say.
It helps that... this one's in Australia. You know, I mean, you know a lot of the areas they're going to, the graphics in it are sensational. So I mean, I'm hoping that this new open world game is visually as stunning. I could always hope it was.
I would hope so. I mean, if the team's obviously got experience in doing it, so we'll see. Looking to hear more on that in the future, and hopefully it turns out to be something very good. Also this week, Valve, that would be the owner-operator of Steam, has basically said that they are not really focusing on developing for the console at the moment, because their bread and butter is PC and VR.
It's fair enough.
Which is also a blow, because it means there's probably no Left 4 Dead coming at the moment, because that wouldn't be just PC.
Very cool.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I think they were saying something along the lines of they feel a bit walled in by the rules and regulations that the console companies put out. You know, I understand that PC has, I suppose, relaxed regulations about what can and can't be done.
Oh, well, true, and also they control the marketplace in all seriousness, because it's Valve, so the PC marketplace is pretty much Steam. EA is trying to make inroads with Origin, but every time I have to play a game through Origin, I'm like, ugh.
Nah.
It ain't worth it, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's bad, but I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's gonna be felt, but at the same time, I mean, it gets more people to notice. You know, is what it is. It's just another way of saying, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can see, you know, it draws attention, but it's unfortunate. I can see where they're coming from, but I don't know. I just don't think I agree with it.
Yeah, you know, I think predominantly because, I mean, we're both predominantly console gamers.
Yeah, true.
You know, I mean, I think it sucks more, but at the same time, if we really wanted to play PC games as well, we really wouldn't care.
I wouldn't think so, no. As I said, it's just, for me, it's more of a case of it probably means Left 4 Dead isn't coming at the moment, which sucks, because I want to see a new Left 4 Dead, but this fucking company, and they don't do threes. Well, there's no freaking, everyone's always waiting for the third episode of Half-Life, and that hasn't shown up, or should I say the third Half-Life, and they're not doing that. Left 4 Dead got to 3, and they're not doing that. Team Fortress, no 3. This company in threes, mate, it's like it doesn't exist. It drives me nuts. But, moving on, also announced, another sad bit of news for me, because I'm a fan, is that Activision is not bringing out another Skylanders game this year.
Really?
Yeah, they've done one every year for, 4 or 5 years now. But they're not bringing a new one this year, apart from, re-releasing the one from last year on the Switch on March 3rd. And they're apparently going to support the game with new level packs and new characters and stuff. But
I heard they were looking at doing something in the mobile gaming market.
Yeah, they're going to do another mobile game, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, mobile gaming's not gaming. That's just trying to sell people crack without selling them crack.
It's crack light. I can't believe it's not crack.
It's pretty bad.
No, I'm hearing that. I was looking at it this week on the news, and I thought, well, it's not. I never really took to Skylanders.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that got my attention. But for the following, it would be disappointing, considering there had been that game release every year.
Yep.
And the move to focus more on mobile gaming, it's something that's always sort of, I won't say annoyed me, but it's frustrated.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I get it, okay? Mobiles are with you pretty much everywhere you go. Almost everyone's got a smartphone.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but at the same time, just because you've got your smartphone doesn't mean you want to use it for that kind of gaming.
And my issue, of course, is that they're not games, man. Honestly, they're shitty city builders where you can spend $1 to make it build now. It's not a game. It doesn't have a real story to it. It doesn't have a, like, for example, Skylanders, it's got platforming and certain things to it, and your microtransactions that you would do in the mobile game are generally going to buy the figure you need to open the door. Because the figures have, for example, I think it's six different element types. So you get to a door, it goes, this is a fire door. So you have to put a fire one on the platform. Makes sense?
Yeah.
But now, we're just going mobile, which sucks. And they're also doing these shitty QR code things, because they've done a card game where you can go buy the cards in store and use the QR code to get the card.
Right.
And it's like a half-assed Gwent, basically, where you put the card down and the higher number wins.
It's crap.
Oh, yeah, I hate it. Not a fan at all.
You know, I feel the same way. What is it? Xbox has got the new Fallout for the new Fallout one.
Yeah, Fallout Shelter came out this week.
Fallout Shelter, thank you.
Was one of our other news items?
It was. Is currently.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be now. We're covering it now. But yeah, that was that came out this week. It's just a mobile game that's on console now, basically.
That's exactly right. Okay, but it's still a mobile game.
Yeah.
You know, watch some gameplay, and
it's a city builder, mate. It's just a little city builder, but now instead you're building a vault. It has a tangibly very thin connection to the Fallout universe.
Look, I get that it's got a good following and that there are people out there who really enjoy it.
Oh, it's very popular.
Okay, that's fantastic. For me, I watched a couple of bits of gameplay, and I mean, it could be because, okay, here we go. See how many people I can offend. Stardew Valley is far more enjoyable because it keeps my mind occupied. There is so much going on that I can get in, and there is always something I have to be doing. I can be going somewhere, I can be doing something. Okay? The rate at which people have been playing the Fallout Shelter Vault thing.
Shelter.
Oh my God. Okay, I could have a 15-minute power nap before someone had actually done something interesting.
Well, that's the problem, because you build something and it has a time to build it. Or you can buy the real currency.
What? It's pay to play?
Yeah, it's like a mobile game.
Pay to win. Wow.
Like a mobile game. It's free to play it. Like, it doesn't have any price on the store. You can get it for free. And then you can buy you can buy items in that one. You buy lunch boxes, like you could collect in one of the Fallout games, and you open it up and it has specific things in it. And even then, it's a blind box. You don't know what you're getting. It's like buying a Kinder Surprise. You want a cool toy, and you end up with some weirdo bird thing.
Rabbit, bird.
Oh yeah, that's the Kinder Surprise thing for sure. Yeah. But yeah, Fallout, I just don't think it's for me personally, but it did come out this week, and I don't
definitely not.
I don't like mobile gaming seeping into console gaming.
Yeah, look, that's not to bag out the following. I mean, if it's the type of thing that you enjoy, that's great.
Hey, if you're stuck on a train and you want something to do, sure, go for it.
That's exactly right.
But I won't be playing it on TV.
I won't be playing it, no. Again, not that I'm bagging it out.
Sure.
I mean, the guys that have got the following, the guys that want to play it, that's no problems. But for me, it's just it's not mine, not my thing.
Yep. Understandably, it seems like it's mobile gaming as a whole no good. Speaking of no good, of course, Ubisoft came out and announced this week that the South Park game has been delayed again.
Fractured but whole. Yeah.
South Park, the Fractured but Whole has been delayed again. It was originally announced for December 6th last year.
Yes, it was.
And then it didn't come out December 6th last year. What a surprise! And they said we're going to need some more time. It'll come out in the first 3 months of next year. And now they've said it'll come out in our 2018 quarter? Sorry, 2018 financial year.
So what, April?
It'll come out any time between April 1st, 2017 and March 31st, 2018. That's the closest we've got at the moment. I'm hoping it's going to be early April, but...
Yeah, I know. I've got a few friends that have been waiting for that one. It just seems like they're going to have to keep waiting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I've held off on the pre-order so far on the Xbox store, but the pre-order comes with the definitive edition of Stick of Truth, which was the last game they did, which also reviewed well. So I'm looking forward to playing that again.
I watched some of the footage of that, but yeah, I never got into the South Park game. Don't get me wrong, I like South Park stuff. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good to play it again, but for now we're going to be waiting a lot longer, maybe, for that South Park game, unfortunately. And also confirmed not coming out would be Final Fantasy 15 for the Switch, not coming out.
Can I say I'm really happy about that?
Well, to be fair, they never said they were going to do one, but yeah, they've decided they're not going to try and water it down to fit it on a subpar console.
And so they shouldn't. I mean, as a
I'm paraphrasing that, of course. That was my opinion, not theirs.
Look, there's ever since Final Fantasy VII, Okay, there has not been a Final Fantasy game that I haven't had a part of.
Yep.
You know, I mean, if it's been released, I've played it in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Okay, so I've either had it, it's been mine, or I've borrowed it from a friend. Doesn't matter, I've played it.
Yep.
And it's, as we said last week, it is not always the graphics that make the game, okay? But Final Fantasy have always tried to put the best that they've got at the time into the game.
Yeah.
You know, graphically, I mean, at the time, they are almost always visually stunning.
Okay, well, from what I've seen of 15, it looks to be looks good, but yeah, not coming to the Switch. Probably a smart move.
A very smart move. Very smart move.
A not so smart move, of course, was the YouTuber who was involved in a gambling ring.
Oh dear.
He was hawking stuff through his YouTube. Turns out he was running the gambling site in the background, and kids were getting involved in it. And he was basically the judge came back and said, you don't seem to care enough that kids were involved. You didn't make an effort to stop them. You turned a blind eye to it. And he's been fined $113,730 US dollars in one simple fine. But he will avoid jail if he can pay.
That's right. He'll avoid jail because he admitted to it.
Yeah.
Which he didn't originally do.
No, but he's not a smart boy from the sounds of it.
No. Oh, he thought he was a lot smarter than he actually was.
Yeah, it's not working out, and it's probably good they shut it down, to be fair.
Yep.
Considering kids were getting involved, it's not good that they're getting involved in gambling at that age. And E3 this year, they announced they're going public. They're going to allow the public in for the first time ever. Beforehand, it was just an industry event, and you had to get media credentials before you could go in.
This is a pretty cool thing.
It's cool, but at the same time, it's bad. Because we might not get the coverage we're used to because the people trying to get the coverage are now waiting in lines with the sweaty masses.
Yes and no. There's still a limit on how many public tickets are available.
I know, but say everyone lines up for the same thing. You're stuffed.
That's true. It will affect coverage to a degree. But you might
just have to go to multiple places for your coverage.
At the same time, it just may mean that the coverage of the event would have to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the way the coverage is handled.
I do like that E3 is open to the public as a whole, though, and as a fan, because I'd like to be able to go one day.
I certainly agree. Maybe we could do a podcast on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to podcast E3 this year. Probably going to do a few of them. I would think we'd probably do a podcast for 3 days in a row there.
Nice.
Because they have the press conferences. You've got, day one, you've got Bethesda. They come out and do their thing. Day two, you've got Microsoft does theirs, while EA does theirs the same day, and Sony does theirs later in the day, so there'll be a second podcast there for the 2 days there. And then a third one would be the Nintendo one.
Yeah,
You've got to see what they're doing.
You've got to see what they're doing, okay? It's no secret. I'm not really. I'm pretty disenfranchised with the Nintendo Switch. Okay?
I'm disenfranchised with Nintendo as a whole.
I know. I mean, Nintendo it holds that nostalgic place, but
not for me. I was a goddamn Sega kid.
Yeah, I was a kid a lot earlier.
And then when it was the next generation, I was a PlayStation kid. Got the N64 eventually, but I was a PlayStation kid. So.
Well, there's very few consoles I haven't had.
Yeah, I kind of, I got them eventually, but overall I've sort of bypassed Nintendo as, my main console at any point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll watch and see what they're doing, but you never know. Might not be good this year. Or they've also got to try and dig themselves out of this Switch hole, if you will.
Yeah, the Switch hole. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I know a few people that are aiming to get themselves a Switch, but to me, it seems like a gimmicky sale.
Yeah.
Look, we're different. Come and buy us because we're different.
That's kind of what they've done the last 3 generations, though, and it worked once.
Yeah,
This is the third one, so you can't really say it hasn't worked yet, because from what I'm hearing, they're sold out everywhere. They've sold through on all their launch supply. Yeah,
like I said, I mean, I said it last week. It's not that I hope they don't do well or anything. I just hope that it's better than what they're making it come across. For me, I need a more serious kind of game, and it's hard to take Nintendo seriously when it feels like they're not actually dedicated to a more serious gaming fan base.
Yeah.
You know, that they need to release games.
Well, it's almost like the movie
substance.
issue, but in console form.
Yes.
Instead of catering to the big fan base of gamers out there, look at the 80-odd million PS4s and Xbox One sold. They're trying to cater to everyone and pissing off everyone. Because it's not a real console. Most developers aren't going to it. And then you've got people that'll buy it going, oh, it's the new Nintendo, let's get it for Billy. And then Billy can't play anything on it, and the games that are on it suck.
Little Billy and his buddies had
He's
really
doing meth
appreciated
now.
Promise.
He's doing meth because they bought him a Nintendo Switch. I'm putting it out there.
Okay, that's a little aggressive, man. I wouldn't go that far. No.
Give it a year. Little Billy, he's going to be in rehab.
Oh, shite, son. No way. Look, I think Nintendo Switch will have a place, but my fears are that Nintendo focuses very heavily on a younger market.
Yeah.
They might be looking long game. Okay, I mean, you think about things like Pokemon, right? I mean, Pokemon took off when it first came out, and the people who really enjoyed Pokemon and played it through, they still play it.
Yeah.
You know, they enjoy it. Okay,
Yeah.
they still look at it with nostalgia.
So in 10 years, when little Billy, who's come out of rehab, says,
If they're looking long game.
says, hang
Okay,
on, wait a
they
minute,
can
I
do
played Skyrim, the shitty version on Switch. I want to play a shitty version of Skyrim again.
Oh, Jesus. Not quite. Oh, my God. No, I'm definitely not in for the shitty graphics. Like I said,
it's not shitty, it's just the 2011 version, not the 2016 remaster from what I've seen, which is a nightmare.
And they've done the graphics down for it.
Well, the fact that you're bringing out a console, 4 years after the other one's released, almost. It'll be 4 years this year.
And they're playing old games.
And you're playing the game that was released on their predecessor.
The graphics down from what they were even back then.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not great.
You know, it doesn't speak well for it.
Talking about good graphics, though, Project Cars 2 was announced this week.
I never got into Project Cars.
I've never played it. It is the Games with Gold game this month in 3 days.
But
So that's when I'll play
it.
Trailer?
Footage of Project Cars 2 looks fantastic.
It does, but here's a bit of concern for the Project Cars 2 team. I would honestly, my smart money would be on them delaying this game. Because it's supposed to come out at the end of this year, right? Is what they said. Forza 7 drops in September, apparently.
Yeah, look...
Get the fuck out of that space.
Okay. Forza is, in my mind, the front-running car game.
Absolutely.
On any platform.
So they need to get the fuck out of that space.
So do you think they might try and rush it?
No, honestly, they delayed the first Project Cars like 3 times. So I think it's a smarter bet would be they're just going to delay the game. I don't see Microsoft delaying Forza because they've pretty much hit their September goal every year for the last few years.
Cool.
With it being Forza Motorsport 1 year and Forza Horizon the next. And it's always around that September to November area, where the only time it was really in November was for Motorsport 5 when it launched with the console.
Yes, they're cool.
So I don't see them pushing their game. I don't think Project Cars smart. It would be smart for them to stay there.
I mean, Forza doesn't need to push at this point in time. I mean, everyone knows it.
Exactly, and you've also
got an Xbox and like your car games. Okay, Forza is already on your Xbox.
Well, your other issue now, too, is that Forza is, of course, going to be a Play Anywhere title, which means buy it on the PC or Xbox, and you can play it on the other one for free. So, it's not just your Xbox market that's probably going to avoid Project Cars because they've already got Forza. You're also looking at your PC market, and those are going to be your biggest market, statistically, for racing games.
Yes.
PlayStation's generally better for your Japanese role-playing games and role-playing games in general, but racing and racing games go to PC for your high-end graphics guy, and you've got your Xbox for the guy who wants to play it while sitting on a couch.
Yeah, look, you know I'm an RPG guy. I'm also a big PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
Okay. I love my PS4, but literally, I've always said that PS4 does RPG the best. It's fantastic, but when it comes to racing games, man, I'm on the Xbox. Okay,
Yeah.
the Xbox for the racing games, it's just been fantastic. I mean, if I've got the same game on both consoles, 9 times, I'll say 8 times in 10, I'll be on the PlayStation.
Okay.
Okay, but the Xbox, okay, I mean, geez, I mean, Forza, so visually stunning, so smooth, and such an amazing race game. It's one of those games that, you know, you think to yourself, oh yeah, one more race, one lap, you know.
Yeah.
It is just the sound of the engine, the look of the cars, the details.
And the thing you don't realise until you've played it a few times as well is that they're one of the few developers that take advantage of the multiple vibrations points in the controller to convey multiple things to you. Like,
Yeah,
I can
true.
feel which tyre is letting go of the road.
Is it? Did you hit did you aquaplane? Did you hit the ripple strip? You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
you
Like,
can always feel that.
you know, but they feel different.
They do. Because like hitting the water, for example, you can feel the speed drop on the side you've hit it on, and you feel
can.
that vibration just in that hand.
No, look, Forza itself, I mean, like I said, racing games,
Yeah.
Xbox, hands down. I mean, without a doubt, Forza is something truly special as far as racing games are concerned.
Now, this whole discussion aside, since Project Cars is the free game this week, in fact, as I said, about 4 days from now, we could completely change our opinion. Maybe Project Cars is an
We
amazing
could.
game.
Which we'll talk about in the next podcast, if it's something that we end up playing.
In all seriousness, it'll probably be the podcast after that. Because
Yeah,
this
cool.
week, we have Sniper Elite, For Honor, and I've also got Halo Wars 2.
Of course.
3 games. I don't think I'm going to be finding time for Project Cars, which I haven't even started to download yet.
No, I agree. Sniper Elite 4 does look pretty impressive.
Yeah, they
And
just put
we
out
all
the
know how I
launch
feel
trailer
about
for it.
snipers.
What was that?
I said Sniper Elite 4 does look pretty impressive, and we all know how I feel about snipers.
Yeah, you're apparently great at it.
I won't say I'm great, but I'm definitely what you'd call an unapologetic camper.
Okay.
You know, I will hard scope, and you will die, and I will laugh while doing it. You know, the people that cry about that. I mean, it says that I ruin their gameplay. All it's doing is increasing the pleasure I get out of it.
So you're a psychopath.
You're increasing the pleasure I get from my gameplay. Thank you for
Psychopath.
dying. Die
Psychopath.
again. You know, fun times.
Well, Sniper Elite 4 coming out this week, of course. They
Yep,
did do a
forward to it.
launch trailer for it. Now, we're going to play that this week, right?
Well, most certainly.
Now, I had a question for you. How are you with stealth games?
Dishonored 2, I went through and got a... I didn't get Ghost, but I did go through with Low Chaos.
Okay.
Stealth, I tend to do pretty well with stealth games.
I suck at stealth. I'm more Rambo.
Okay, look, you know, I prefer my sniper. I love the long game.
I'm really good with a sniper, don't get me wrong with that. But in
Okay,
Sniper
but
Elite,
stealth I
there's
also
multiple
like.
ways to play the game where you could also just be almost Assassin's Creeding around down on ground level, taking people out that way.
I don't mind doing that either.
Because I was thinking you could do that, I could snipe.
Okay.
Instead of both of us sniping and probably doing what happened to me and my mate last time we played the Sniper Elite games, where one of us would fire and the other one would go, shit, I was already aiming at that guy.
Yep, okay.
I mean, we
No,
could both
look,
snipe too. We'll just play it as we go, you know.
Look, I think every occasion's different.
Yep.
Okay, there will be times where we can both be sniping and just call our targets. I mean, it's not like the Xbox doesn't come with a headset, but we've got them. We're
True.
good.
Very true.
I think coordination. is
And the
key.
videos of us playing this, by the way, will come to redgemnetwork.com. Cheap plug.
Awesome.
Later in the week and probably continuing for the next few weeks.
Well, I'm more than happy to go in for some stealth. You know, old school hunter style, use a knife, whatever. I'm good with that.
Okay. I like that the pre-order came with I think it's Assassinate the Führer or something like that. It's basically go kill Hitler.
Choice.
So I think
Choice.
that'll be a fun little video for us to go and kill Hitler.
Hey, who doesn't want to kill Hitler?
Hitler?
Or who wouldn't want to kill Hitler?
Hitler? Although technically he did commit suicide, so I guess even Hitler wanted to fucking kill Hitler.
Even Hitler wanted to kill Hitler. Shit.
But yes, that game comes out this week. They put out a launch trailer for it.
Looking forward to that.
Not coming out this week, but coming out next month. We've got the next episode of The Walking Dead Season 3, which is a good game. I've enjoyed episode 1 and 2, and 3 drops the end of next month. And it also comes to retail with the Season Pass on disc.
I have not actually played it. However,
there is Walking Dead Season 1, 2, and 3 on the Xbox you should play.
Yes, I hadn't.
Well worth it. They're story heavy.
The current release, or the one that's about to release.
Yep, they are story heavy.
It looks fantastic visually.
Oh, it's a good game.
I was not expecting how well that was done.
Well, that's the third one. They've definitely made a big graphics increase for that. The first two are a little bit more cel-shaded Borderlands style-y.
Yeah, but that's kind of what got my attention.
I like the style, don't get me wrong. I think the story alone makes it worth the playthrough. For example, Season 1, I had a mate at work who cried at the end of Season 1. And he's not an emotional guy. He cried.
Okay.
Season 2 was a bit of a miss. Not great. Not horrible. Still very enjoyable. But Season 3 so far has been a step in the right direction.
Well, it looks fantastic. It really does. And for someone who's not played any of the Walking Dead games,
yep.
Just looking at the trailer for it, the pre-release, I thought that got me interested enough to want to go and download the other ones.
I absolutely think you should when you've got time, as we did cover. Probably not going to be this week.
No, definitely not. It's looking like it's going to be a busy week. For Honor, though, looks just as interesting.
It does. I'm a little worried about what sort of depth multiplayer has, but it does come with a single player. And I mean, you can play as one of 3 races, if you will. You've got Samurai, you've got Knight, and you've got Viking. I mean, I'm definitely going to play through the game as a Viking.
I was going to say, look, for me, it's got to be Viking or a Knight. I mean, everyone loves a Samurai, right? But, I mean...
I love Vikings, mate. Get drunk, use axes, bang women. Vikings.
Vikings are great and all, but, I mean...
I blame the History Channel, because their series, Vikings, amazing.
See, I never really got into it. I managed maybe 3 seasons.
Well, there's only 4.
3 seasons. It sort of lost me at that point.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, the last few seasons haven't been great, but overall I enjoy the show, and that's what I'm going to be playing it for on it, is a Viking. Talking about games, though, that are coming back out this year, we just covered The Walking Dead coming out in March. They have once again confirmed that Destiny 2 is still on track for this year. Will drop probably in the September to November area.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to play it twice, aren't you?
I am too. I think the Destiny clan members on PlayStation will not be overly impressed.
Oh no, they'll kill you if you don't play it on PlayStation. But I'll kill you if you don't play it on Xbox.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah,
fun times.
Ah, it's okay. You can bring the expertise. You can bring the expertise back to the Xbox version for us.
Well, that being said, we're going to need people to set up a fire team, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we can talk about that as we get closer. It's too early to prepare now.
Definitely. I mean, because let's face it, up to date, as far as Destiny's concerned, you need a fire team. You need people that are good.
Yeah.
And that work well together.
Well, there was another bunch of Destiny 2 rumors that came out this week that I'm trying to find in front of me at the moment. That they were once again reiterating that it's probably going to be a full teardown. Like you start again, your characters are gone.
Yeah, I had heard that.
I mean, they've talked about that before, so I could understand that being the smart money, because, like we talked about, you can't bring in a new audience if they're automatically behind.
Well, from what I understand, originally they wanted to bring across some of the characters and what have you, but I think what I walked away from the Destiny news with was that part of their reasoning was the way they're changing the game up.
Yeah.
By changing the formatting and things like that, it would be messing around with anything they tried to transfer across. So instead of transferring across and having to lock in certain aspects of what the current Destiny game is, they're trying to expand on what that is and leaving behind the old characters in the process. So, I mean, it sounds interesting. I'm hoping they don't mess around with it too much. But but at the same time, it's still exciting news.
I think starting from scratch is definitely a good idea because it gives you something for new fans and old fans alike.
Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, let's face it, I mean, Destiny still had... it stayed alive. It was an active game for me for 3 years.
True, but it wasn't the 10 years they promised.
No, that's true. That's true. I don't know how they could have expected 10 years out of what they provided.
Neither do I. They basically wanted like a WoW lifespan out of, what, a fifth of the content, if that?
Yeah, no, it's just not possible. I've still got friends that are active players, but I couldn't, for myself, I couldn't continue playing after 3 years and beating the last lot of content.
Yeah.
When the big thing for me is character development, okay? Now, the character did not develop beyond a certain point, okay? And the releases that came afterwards, new raids and stuff like that, there's only so much you can do before you've got it.
That's true.
And then what do you do? And I was with one of the best groups of guys as far as clans go that I've encountered, and we just had awesome time over the period of 3 years.
Yeah.
But Destiny, 3 years did its bit.
Okay. So it's done its dash. Destiny original.
Destiny as an original, yeah, it's done its dash. I mean, it's time for Destiny 2, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's worth it.
Okay. Well, talking about sequel games, we've got Psychonauts 2 from Double Fine is coming out this year. Hopefully, I think it was this year they said. Sometime in 2018. My bad, not 2017. They've announced this week that they've got a publisher, Starbreeze Studios, that published Payday 2 and Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Now, the thing that annoys me about Psychonauts is they did a remaster, which was exclusive to the PlayStation. And now they've done a PSVR thing, obviously exclusive to the PlayStation, releasing later this month. So, I'm like, as an Xbox guy, you're not giving me much love over here, so why would I be that interested in your next game? Yeah,
but, I mean, ultimately, we're gamers, okay, regardless of the platform you play on.
True, but I'm not going to play a game that's called, whatever it is, 2, if I haven't played number 1.
Psychonauts, yeah, I agree.
Like, it's not called Psychonauts A Different Adventure or something like that. It's literally 2, which would imply it's a continuation.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to have to dig it out and play it on PC beforehand, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's hard to get into a game that is a sequel when you haven't played one of the games that preempted, I suppose. That being said, sometimes it's not that hard. Okay, I never played Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I have.
Yeah, but you've watched Dragon Ball, right?
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much Xenoverse. It was pretty much just Dragon Ball Z with some of the fights you could take from different angles. That was it.
That was, yeah, I get that. But, I mean, when I hadn't played Dishonored 1, but I really enjoyed Dishonored 2.
Okay. We probably would have enjoyed it more with, I think, because that one's very story-driven. I think if you play as, I want to say his name's Corvo, is it? Arvo? One of the characters you can play as...
We can call him Bob.
What's his name? Do you remember?
No idea.
I was going to say, you played it, not me.
No, I cannot remember. I played as
you could play
Emily.
You could play as the lady, and you could play as him as well.
Yes, you had the choice. I figured the first one was based on him.
Yep.
And the way the second one started, the second one seemed to be based around her. So I thought, well, going Emily as a character, to me, made sense.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed the game.
Okay, I could understand
even
that.
though it was a sequel.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to a close on news.
Good, but I mean, and graphically, what they've shown appears to be very good. I think it may appeal to a cult following, but
Psychonauts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Double Fine doesn't really make games that are huge. Like,
no, I'm not sure it'll be a game I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
But I mean, for those who did play it, for those who did play one, I think they'd be like I said, a cult following. They would probably be really interested in playing Psychonauts 2. The graphics, like I said, from what they were showing, I was thinking, kind of, I was going to say Banjo-Kazooie style.
Okay.
What did they call it? It's kind of like that day camp feel, I think, is what they called it. It's very, I'd say cartoony.
Okay.
But it's natural.
Yeah.
Nature. It looks to be fantastically done, and it's a non-threatening type of game that looks great.
Which is what Double Fine's known for, to be fair.
The movement and playability of the game as they've released looks to be really good. But at the same time, they from what they've shown, they haven't got a lot of gameplay.
Well, it isn't going to release till 2018. I think it was the end of 2018. So let's see, no, sometime in 2018. Okay, doesn't say end of the year or anything, but yeah, it's still a while off. But it's good that they got a publisher, because publishers can be hard to find sometimes for games, and without a publisher, they don't come out.
Particularly for what I'm going to call like your cult games.
And your smaller studio, like Double Fine is a small studio, to be fair. They've worked on some big games over the years. They did a lot of like LucasArts stuff back in the day.
Nice.
But they did lose the rights to a lot of those because, of course, Lucas kept those. So now Disney owns them, and Disney doesn't want to do anything with them, so they're just sitting in a vault somewhere, which is unfortunate. But that's the way it goes, and that brings us to an end of the news this week. Now, last week I said that there was the retro game of the week was Sonic, and I also told you that you needed to come this week with a new game. The retro game of the week for this week is Take It Away, Silverwolf.
Okay, so I was thinking back of all of the old school retro games that I used to play, and I thought to myself, well, what constitutes a retro game? And then I thought, no matter what, I can't go past Street Fighter. Okay, any Street Fighter. It doesn't matter. We spoke about Time Zone last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cannot tell you how many times, what was the game I played? Capcom versus Street Fighter. I don't think I ever stopped wanting to spend money on that game. It's Capcom versus Street Fighter. I mean, those 1v1 ass-kicking type games, they really appealed. Isn't that the first thing we did when I met you? I'm fairly certain it was Tekken, and I'm fairly certain I had my backside kicked by a Chronic Masher.
Well, yeah, I'm a bit of a button masher. I mean, one of the first games we played was the latest Tekken at the time.
It was. Tekken,
and I have to say, my favourite part about that was the humble bragging you were doing about how you'd beaten the game as every character, you knew all the combos, this, that, the other thing.
Oh, I could not believe it. Okay, I spent so much time learning each character. There's like, I had the game on the hardest setting. I could do anything.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me to lose. I was really confident until I came across this button matching master. I could not keep up with what you were doing. And I think half of that was that you didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, I had absolutely no idea. You're even like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, no, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I got no idea. But hey, I think you got one. You got 1 out of the 10.
Might have gotten one. It was great. It was great. But that 1v1 style, and like I said, early day Street Fighter. I mean, I'm still a Street Fighter fan, no matter how we put it.
See, I've always been more Mortal Kombat.
Look, I was huge on Mortal Kombat.
I'm a big MK guy.
I was waiting weeks for the Mortal Kombat 3 release. I was really hanging out for that one.
Okay.
But as they've gone on, things have just, I don't know, the game's changed from what it was.
Yeah. Well, they are just seem to be focusing more and more on just getting the OMG response for your fatalities.
Look, I love the fatalities.
They were always
that's a great aspect of the game. If they took out the fatalities, it would cease being Mortal Kombat.
But at the same point, when their entire marketing campaign for a month before it comes out is just the fatalities, it's a bit weak.
Yeah. Look, I love the fatalities.
Me too.
Back before Australia started blocking them, and every time you bought a game, you'd do the fatality, and the whole screen would go black.
Never had that issue. Always played the imported ones.
Good choice. Good choice. You know,
the thing I hated about the latest one is that you could...
combat games. Okay, it didn't matter. What was it? So many old school games.
Well, the latest one, of course, had the big issue with it. You could buy fatalities, like with real money.
Do you know what? No.
It was called Easy Fatalities. You'd buy it
for a game.
You'd buy it. It was it'd give you like a coin, and then you'd pause the game or press a button combination, and it would hit your fatality. It'd be like both triggers or something.
No.
Instead of having to do like 37 buttons.
Video games, you make me sick. I love you, but I hate you.
So you need to give us a game here. So what are we talking? Street Fighter 2? Super Street Fighter 2?
Oh, jeez. Do you know what? Let's go for one that's totally off the wall. Let's go and say Samurai Showdown.
Okay, so you started out saying it's a Street Fighter game, and now it's Samurai Showdown.
Totally. Well, see, it's the genre, man.
Yeah, fair
genre. Okay.
Hey, it's your week, man. Choose what you want to choose.
I have chosen. Let's go. Samurai Showdown, people.
And what the hell did that come out on?
That was same thing. It was like a time zone game.
Okay.
They had a release, I believe it might have been the Super Nintendo, although they may have called it something else.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's Samurai Showdown without a W in it. Because I've Googled it, and it's auto-completed to Samurai Showdown, which is just SHODOWN.
I have no idea.
And it's created by... it's a video series by SNK, who have also done like a lot of different games. And yeah, they've done Samurai Showdown 2, 4, Anthology, 6, 64.
They're the one.
Yep, okay, well, let's see. The first one, just known as this in Japan. That's not helping me. It was an arcade and then various home systems. How about you give me the answer here, Wikipedia? No wonder you're always begging for money, you piece of shit. Okay, wow, Jesus. It's on arcade, 3DO, Game Gear, Game Boy, Mega Drive Genesis, Neo Geo, Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Sega CD, Super NES, PlayStation 2, Wii, Virtual Console, and PlayStation Network on PS3 and PSP. So you can play it on pretty much anything.
I'll tell you what, that was a really awesome fighting game.
Okay, well, I will check it out this week, and I'll pop a video up on Red Gym.
It was great.
Okay, well, I look forward to giving it a go. That's our Retro Game of the Week, and that's it. Okay, so there we go. This week, guys, we have the release of, we already covered it briefly, 3 games. On the 14th, we have Sniper Elite 4 and For Honor, and then this Friday, which the date would be the 17th, I think, it's the early release of Halo Wars 2 for anyone who bought the Ultimate Edition. It comes out on Friday, and then it's officially out on Tuesday next week. So, Silver Wolf, you and I are going to jump into all those games, right?
Yeah, definitely. If you're off some co-op, so am I.
Oh yeah, co-op in Sniper Elite for sure. I'm not 100% there's co-op in the other 2, but I know there's a single and a multiplayer mode, so...
We'll be in it for sure.
Yeah, we'll give it a go. Anyway, guys, I'm Rusty Man. I'll catch you next week. I've been joined by Silver Wolf.
Take it easy, guys.
I can be found at RustyManPlays on Twitter, and Silver Wolf actually has a goddamn Twitter. Made me almost shit my pants at work the other day when I found that one out.
Yeah, it has next to nothing on it, but...
so far, but it's okay. That means
when it comes to it, gaming, anime, it's all good.
Okay, so if anyone wants to find you on Twitter, that would be SilverWolf82 on Twitter, guys. So send him a message, and we'll catch you next week.
Take it easy, guys. Great.
See ya.